In a gentle valley surrounded by rolling hills and sparkling streams, there stood a hill known as Helping Hands Hill. It was a place where creatures of all kinds came together to lend a helping hand and spread kindness throughout the land. One sunny day, a little mouse named Mia found herself lost in the valley. She scurried along the winding paths, her tiny heart pounding with fear, until she stumbled upon Helping Hands Hill. As Mia climbed to the top of the hill, she saw animals of all shapes and sizes working together, building shelters and gathering food for those in need. She watched in awe as they laughed and played, their hearts full of joy and compassion. Just then, Mia heard a soft whimper coming from behind a nearby bush. Curious, she peeked around the corner and saw a young rabbit named Robbie, his leg caught in a tangle of brambles. Without hesitation, Mia scampered over to Robbie's side and began to nibble away at the thorns, careful not to hurt him. With each nibble, Robbie's leg became freer, until at last he was able to hop out of the brambles with a grateful sigh of relief. "Thank you, Mia," said Robbie, his eyes shining with gratitude. "You saved me." Mia smiled shyly. "It was nothing," she said. "Here on Helping Hands Hill, we all help each other whenever we can." Together, Mia and Robbie made their way to the top of the hill, where they joined the other animals in their work. They gathered berries for the birds, built nests for the squirrels, and planted flowers for the bees, their hearts filled with the warmth of friendship and camaraderie. As the sun began to set over Helping Hands Hill, Mia looked around at her new friends, her heart swelling with pride. In this magical place, she had learned that no act of kindness was ever too small, and that by working together, they could make the world a better place for everyone. And as she bid farewell to Helping Hands Hill and its wonderful inhabitants, Mia knew that she would carry the lessons of friendship and compassion with her wherever she went. For in the end, it was the helping hands of friends that truly made life's journey worthwhile. In a picturesque valley nestled between majestic mountains and lush meadows, there lay a tranquil place called Understanding Valley. It was a place where animals of all kinds came together to learn from each other and celebrate their differences. One bright morning, a curious bear named Benny ventured into Understanding Valley, his nose twitching with excitement. He had heard whispers of the valley's wonders and was eager to explore its mysteries. As Benny wandered deeper into Understanding Valley, he came across a group of animals gathered around a circle of stones, their faces filled with concentration. At the center of the circle sat a wise owl named Oliver, his eyes shining with knowledge. "Welcome, young one," said Oliver, his voice echoing through the valley. "I am Oliver, the keeper of Understanding Valley. What brings you here today?" Benny stepped forward, his curiosity piqued. "I've heard tales of this valley's wisdom and understanding," he explained. "I wish to learn from you and the other creatures who call this place home." Oliver nodded approvingly. "Very well, young Benny. Sit with us, and together we will explore the depths of Understanding Valley." And so, Benny joined the other animals in the circle, listening intently as Oliver shared stories of friendship, empathy, and acceptance. he learned about the importance of listening to others, even when they had different perspectives, and the power of kindness in bridging divides. But as the day wore on, Benny noticed something troubling. A young rabbit named Rosie seemed to be struggling to keep up with the others, her ears drooping with confusion as she tried to understand the lessons. Determined to help his new friend, Benny approached Rosie with a warm smile. "Don't worry, Rosie," he said gently. "I'm here to help you understand." With Benny's patient guidance, Rosie's confusion began to melt away, and soon she was laughing and learning alongside the other animals. As the sun began to set over Understanding Valley, Benny looked around at his newfound friends, his heart swelling with gratitude. In this valley of understanding, he had learned that true friendship meant helping each other grow and learn, no matter the obstacles they faced. And as he bid farewell to Understanding Valley and its wise inhabitants, Benny knew that he would carry the lessons of empathy, acceptance, and understanding with him wherever he went. For in the end, it was the bond of friendship that truly made life's journey worthwhile. In a galaxy far, far away, there twinkled a constellation of stars known as the supportive stars. Each night, these stars shone brightly in the sky, spreading warmth and light to all who gazed upon them. One evening, in a cozy little town nestled beneath the stars, there lived a young rabbit named Rosie. Rosie loved to gaze up at the night sky, marveling at the beauty of the stars above. But one night, as Rosie lay beneath her favorite tree, she noticed that one of the stars in the supportive stars constellation seemed to be fading. Its light flickered weakly, struggling to shine as brightly as the others. Concerned, Rosie decided to seek help from her friends in the forest. She gathered her courage and set out on a journey to find the wise owl, who is known for his knowledge of the stars. After a long search, Rosie finally found the wise owl perched atop a tall tree, his wise eyes gazing up at the night sky. "Wise owl," said Rosie, her voice filled with urgency. "One of the stars in the supportive stars constellation is fading. Can you help us?" The wise owl nodded gravely. "Follow me," he said, spreading his wings and taking flight into the night sky. Together, Rosie and the wise owl soared through the stars until they reached the supportive stars constellation. There, they found the fading star, its light growing dimmer with each passing moment. With the wise owl's guidance, Rosie discovered that the star was feeling lonely and unappreciated. It longed for the warmth of friendship and the joy of companionship, but it felt as though it was all alone in the vast expanse of the night sky. Determined to help their friend, Rosie and the wise owl gathered the other stars of the constellation and formed a circle around the fading star. They showered it with love and encouragement, reminding it that it was never alone and that its light was valued and cherished by all. Slowly but surely, the fading star began to shine once more, its light growing stronger with each passing moment. And as it twinkled brightly in the sky, the other stars cheered and danced, their hearts filled with joy and gratitude. From that day on, Port of Stars constellation shone brighter than ever before, its light a beacon of hope and friendship for all who looked up at the night sky. And Rosie, with her kind heart and unwavering determination, was hailed as a hero of the stars, a shining example of the power of support and friendship. In the vast expanse of the sky, there floated a group of clouds known as the caring clouds. They drifted gracefully above the earth, spreading kindness and compassion wherever they went. One sunny day, as the caring clouds traveled across the sky, they noticed a group of animals gathered in a clearing below, their faces filled with worry. Among them was a young deer named Daisy, her eyes brimming with tears. "What's wrong, little ones?" asked the caring clouds, their voices gentle and soothing. Daisy stepped forward, her voice trembling with emotion. "Our friend, Tommy the turtle, is feeling unwell," she explained. "He's too weak to make it to the pond for water, and we don't know how to help him." The caring clouds nodded understandingly. "We will do everything we can to help Tommy," they promised. With that, the caring clouds gathered together and began to form a thick blanket of mist that gently descended upon the clearing below. The mist enveloped Tommy in a cool, refreshing embrace, soothing his fevered brow and easing his pain. As the mist worked its magic, Tommy's strength began to return, and soon he was able to lift his head and drink from the crystal clear waters of the pond. The animals cheered with joy, grateful for the caring clouds' help. From that day on, the caring clouds watched over the animals of the forest, offering their support and comfort whenever it was needed. They sent gentle rains to nourish the plants and warm sunshine to brighten even the darkest days. But their greatest gift was the sense of kindness and compassion they inspired in the hearts of all who dwelled beneath them. The animals learned that true friendship meant being there for each other, no matter the circumstances, and that together they could overcome any challenge that came their way. And so, as the sun set on another day in the forest, the caring clouds continued on their journey across the sky, their hearts filled with the warmth of friendship and the knowledge that their kindness had made a difference in the lives of those below. In a serene valley nestled between towering mountains and lush forests, there flowed a sparkling waterfall known as Forgiveness Falls. Its waters shimmered with shades of blue and green, and its gentle cascades whispered tales of friendship and forgiveness. One peaceful morning, a young rabbit named Rosie found herself standing before Forgiveness Falls, her heart heavy with guilt. She had accidentally knocked over a beehive while playing with her friends, causing chaos and distress among the bees. As Rosie watched the water cascade down the rocks, she knew she had to make things right. With a determined hop, she made her way to the hive and apologized to the bees for her thoughtless actions. But despite her heartfelt apology, the bees remained angry and refused to forgive her. Rosie's ears drooped with disappointment as she turned away from the hive, feeling hopeless and alone. Just then, she heard a soft voice behind her. It was Benny, a wise old bear who lived in the forest nearby. "Don't give up hope, Rosie," said Benny, his voice gentle and kind. "Forgiveness is not always easy, but with time and patience, wounds can heal and hearts can mend." With Benny's words echoing in her ears, Rosie returned to Forgiveness Falls and sat beside its tranquil waters, her eyes fixed on the shimmering surface. As she sat in quiet contemplation, she felt a gentle breeze brush against her fur, carrying with it the faint hum of wings. She looked up to see the bees hovering nearby, their expressions softening as they watched her. With a hopeful smile, Rosie reached out to the bees and offered them a sweet apology once more. This time, she spoke from the depths of her heart, expressing her regret and asking for their forgiveness. To her surprise, the bees buzzed softly in response and began to gather around her, their anger melting away like dew in the morning sun. They accepted Rosie's apology with open hearts, and together, they forged a new bond built on understanding and forgiveness. From that day on, Forgiveness Falls became a place of healing and reconciliation for all who visited its shores. Rosie learned that forgiveness was not just about saying sorry, but about truly understanding and empathizing with those she had hurt. And as she watched the bees dance in the sunlight, Rosie knew that Forgiveness Falls would always be a reminder of the power of forgiveness and the beauty of second chances. In the heart of a lush forest, there lay a magical grove known as the Grateful Grove. Its trees stood tall and proud, their branches reaching toward the sky as if in gratitude for the blessings they had received. One sunny morning, a young squirrel named Sammy ventured into the Grateful Grove, his eyes wide with wonder. He had heard tales of the grove's enchantment and wanted to see it for himself. As Sammy explored the grove, he came across a wise old oak tree named Oliver, who greeted him with a warm smile. "Welcome to the Grateful Grove, young one," said Oliver, his voice resonating with wisdom. "What brings you here today?" Sammy looked around at the majestic trees and vibrant flowers, his heart filled with awe. "I've heard that this grove is a place of magic and wonder," he said. "I wanted to see it for myself." Oliver nodded knowingly. "Indeed, the Grateful Grove is a special place," he said. "But its true magic lies in the power of gratitude." With that, Oliver gestured toward a nearby tree, its branches heavy with ripe, juicy apples. "This tree is a symbol of gratitude," he explained. "It gives thanks for the sun, the rain, and the earth that nourishes it, and in return, it bears the most delicious fruit." Sammy listened intently, his heart swelling with curiosity. "But how can I be grateful like the trees?" he asked. Oliver smiled kindly. "Gratitude begins with a simple thank you," he said. "When you appreciate the gifts life has given you, you'll find that your heart is full of joy and contentment." With Oliver's guidance, Sammy spent the day exploring the Grateful Grove and giving thanks for the beauty and abundance that surrounded him. He thanked the sun for its warmth, the breeze for its gentle caress, and the flowers for their vibrant colors. As the sun began to set over the horizon, Sammy felt a sense of peace wash over him. He looked around at the trees of the Grateful Grove, their branches swaying gently in the evening breeze, and he knew that he was truly blessed to be a part of such a magical place. And as he bid farewell to the Grateful Grove and its wise inhabitants, Sammy carried with him the lesson of gratitude, knowing that no matter where life took him, he would always have the power to find joy in the simple things and give thanks for the blessings he received. In a lush forest filled with towering trees and chirping birds, there lived a group of animals known as the communicative creatures. They were known far and wide for their exceptional ability to understand one another and work together to overcome any challenge. One sunny day, as the communicative creatures gathered by the edge of a babbling brook, they noticed a family of turtles struggling to cross the rushing water. Among them was a tiny turtle named Timmy, his shell gleaming in the sunlight as he peered nervously at the swirling currents. Without hesitation, the communicative creatures sprang into action. Benny, the bear, used his strength to build a sturdy bridge out of fallen branches, while Lily, the rabbit, hopped back and forth, gathering leaves to cover the rough surface. As the bridge took shape, Timmy hesitated at the water's edge, his fear holding him back from taking the first step. But Rosie the squirrel bounded over to his side, her eyes filled with kindness and encouragement. "Don't worry, Timmy," said Rosie, her voice gentle and reassuring. "We're here to help you cross safely." With Rosie's words echoing in his ears, Timmy took a deep breath and stepped onto the bridge, his heart pounding with excitement. Slowly but surely, he made his way across the babbling brook, his friends cheering him on every step of the way. As Timmy reached the other side, he turned back to look at his friends, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, everyone," he said. "I couldn't have done it without you." The communicative creatures smiled warmly, their hearts swelling with pride. For they knew that true communication wasn't just about talking. It was about listening, understanding, and working together to help each other succeed. And from that day on, the communicative creatures continued to use their unique abilities to help those in need, whether it was a lost bird searching for its nest or a tired fox in need of shelter. For they knew that by communicating and cooperating, they could make the forest a better place for all who called it home. And as the sun set over the treetops, casting a golden glow across the forest, the communicative creatures knew that their friendship and teamwork would continue to shine brightly, lighting the way for all who crossed their path. In a colorful meadow filled with flowers of every hue, there bloomed a patch of daisies known as the diverse daisies. Each daisy was unique, with petals of different colors and sizes, but they all lived together in harmony, celebrating their diversity and friendship. One sunny morning, a curious butterfly named Bella fluttered into the meadow, her wings shimmering in the sunlight. She had heard of the diverse daisies and wanted to see them for herself. As Bella landed on a nearby flower, she was greeted by a chorus of cheerful voices. "Welcome, Bella," sang the daisies, their petals dancing in the breeze. "We're so glad you're here." Bella looked around in wonder at the colorful display before her, her heart filled with joy. "I've never seen such beautiful daisies," she exclaimed. "Each one is so unique and special. The daisies smiled proudly, their petals glowing with happiness. "That's because we celebrate our differences," explained Daisy, the leader of the patch. "We believe that diversity makes us stronger and more beautiful." With Daisy's guidance, Bella spent the day exploring the meadow and learning about the different types of daisies that grew there. She met Daisy, whose petals were as white as snow, and Rosie, whose petals were tinged with pink, like the blush of a sunset. But as Bella flew from flower to flower, she noticed a small daisy named Leo sitting alone in a corner of the meadow, his petals drooping with sadness. "What's wrong, Leo?" asked Bella, landing gently beside him. Leo sighed heavily. "I don't feel like I belong here," he confessed. "I'm different from the other daisies, and I'm afraid they won't accept me." Bella listened intently, her heart going out to her new friend. "But Leo," she said gently, "that's what makes you special. The diverse daisies celebrate diversity, and you are a part of that diversity." With Bella's encouragement, Leo began to see himself in a new light. He looked around at the other daisies, his heart swelling with gratitude for their acceptance and friendship. And as the sun set over the meadow, casting a warm glow across the flowers, Leo realized that he was exactly where he belonged. For in the patch of diverse daisies, he had found not only acceptance, but also love and friendship that would last a lifetime. In a peaceful valley nestled between rolling hills and babbling brooks, there lay a haven known as Harmony Haven. It was a place where creatures of all kinds lived together in perfect harmony, their hearts united by friendship and love. One sunny day, as the inhabitants of Harmony Haven went about their daily routines, they noticed a new arrival in their midst. It was a young fox named Felix, his fur matted and his eyes filled with uncertainty. Curious, the other animals approached Felix and welcomed him to Harmony Haven with open arms. They offered him food and shelter, and soon Felix began to feel at home among his new friends. As the days turned into weeks, Felix grew to love life in Harmony Haven. He spent his days playing with the rabbits, exploring the forest with the squirrels, and basking in the warm sunlight with the birds. But one day, a dark cloud appeared on the horizon, threatening to disrupt the peace and harmony of Harmony Haven. It was a disagreement between two of the animals, a deer named Daisy and a raccoon named Ricky, over who should have the last apple from the orchard. As tensions rose and tempers flared, Felix felt a pang of sadness in his heart. He had never seen his friends argue like this before, and he feared that their friendship was in jeopardy. Determined to restore harmony to Harmony Haven, Felix set out to find a solution to the problem. He gathered the animals together and reminded them of the importance of friendship and cooperation. "We are all different, but together we make Harmony Haven a special place," said Felix, his voice filled with conviction. "Let us put aside our differences and work together to find a solution that benefits us all." With Felix's guidance, the animals began to communicate openly and honestly, sharing their thoughts and feelings with one another. They listened with empathy and understanding, and soon a solution emerged that satisfied everyone. As the sun set over Harmony Haven, casting a warm glow across the valley, the animals gathered together in a circle, their hearts united once more. They thanked Felix for his wisdom and leadership, grateful for the lessons he had taught them about the power of friendship and cooperation. And as they settled down to sleep beneath the stars, Felix knew that Harmony Haven would always be a place where love and friendship reigned supreme, a haven of peace and harmony for all who called it home. In a land of rolling hills and lush forests, there existed a magical place called Unity Utopia. It was a haven where creatures of all shapes, sizes, and colors lived together in perfect harmony, bound by the strong ties of friendship and unity. One bright morning, the inhabitants of Unity Utopia gathered in the town square to celebrate the annual Friendship Festival. It was a time for joy and laughter, a time to honor the bonds of friendship that held their community together. As the festivities began, the animals danced and sang, their voices echoing through the trees as they shared stories and laughter. But amidst the merriment, a sense of unease lingered in the air. It seemed that a group of mischievous squirrels had been causing trouble in the forest, stealing food and playing pranks on their fellow creatures. The unity of Unity Utopia was threatened, and the animals knew that something had to be done. Determined to restore peace and harmony to their community, a brave young rabbit named Ruby stepped forward, her eyes shining with determination. "We must come together as one and show these squirrels the true meaning of friendship and unity," declared Ruby, her voice ringing out with confidence. With Ruby's leadership, the animals of Unity Utopia set out to find the mischievous squirrels and bring them back to the town square. They searched high and low, through the forest and across the meadows, until at last they found the squirrels hiding in a secluded grove. But instead of scolding or punishing them, Ruby and the other animals approached the squirrels with kindness and understanding. They listened to their grievances and offered them a place in Unity Utopia, where they could be part of a community that valued friendship and unity above all else. To their surprise, the squirrels accepted their offer with open arms, their hearts softened by the compassion and forgiveness of their fellow creatures. And as they joined the festivities in the town square, the animals of Unity Utopia knew that they had achieved something truly special, a community united in love and friendship, where all were welcome and accepted for who they were. As the sun set over Unity Utopia, casting a warm glow across the land, the animals gathered together in a circle, their hearts overflowing with gratitude and joy. And as they sang and danced beneath the stars, they knew that their unity would always be their greatest strength, a beacon of hope and happiness for all who called Unity Utopia home.